There's only one awesome Bigragu. One awesome Bigragu. He predicts the fight against everything around.
Well, hey, welcome to the Week 4 review, injuries, and prognostications of the Fighting Fanatics News Center. I'm your host, Bigragu.
And I'm your co-host, Lou Dog. We got a lot for you this week. We tape live every Sunday, so please call in with your questions at 555-FFNC. That's 555-3362 for the illiterates out there. Call in. So
yeah, all right. Okay, so going over last week, we'll go over the teams that won last week. There were how many?
We had 7 victors last week. Seven teams won in the league. Seven teams. The Spartans, the Guns, the Lizards, the Kings, Crime Boss, Quakers, and Leather Boys.
Wow.
All winners.
Now I just wanted to throw this out there. There was a 3-0 whitewashing for the Columbus squad over Dayton there. We won all 3 of the games.
Somebody's fiction came up with the Columbus-Dayton thing, and, you know, if you look at it, it's about the matchup. I mean, I remember last year we had, I think, the 4th highest team in the league. I lost 13 games in 16.
Everybody still considered him a loser, and that's, you know, what Dayton's rolling right now.
Okay, so
I'm on the loser train.
Quakers, #1 scoring team. Leather Boys, #2 scoring team. Cornholers outscored 4 Columbus squads. Matchups right there. Quakers, Leather Boys, Cornholers.
Are you still trying to pitch the case? Because you guys, I mean, you got blanked. You're 3-0.
It's not like a 3-13 season. It's all about the matchup. So anyway, in 3 weeks, Battle of Ohio. Stay tuned. All right, you got the victors.
Okay, and as we said, we had the whitewashing and everything. The last undefeated team goes down, the Cornholers, who were 3-0. Suffered their first defeat against the Lizards, a Columbus team. We still have one winless team in the Maggots. They're 0-4. There's positives and negatives to this. One, we miss his
Maggot rap.
No, we don't miss the rap. We miss his we don't miss the rap.
It's gone. It's like the Detroit team is 1-20 and
1-20.
Maggots team are 0-4. The Maggot crap.
But in Detroit's defense, they are on a winning streak.
Winning streak. But we have a new kid on the block, the Kings, and the Kings is riding the Royal Rap or Royal Crap.
Crap. Either way, it's crap.
Yeah. Anyway.
But you know, so we have that. There are some teams that are falling. As we mentioned, you have the Maggots who have lost 4 in a row. Maybe you can't fall if you haven't even won a game.
It's the only way to go.
Yeah. And then you have the Camel Toes who have lost 3 in a row. So they are falling like a stone. Yes. But what's weird is rising. There are 3 teams that have won 3 games in a row: the Lizards, the Kings, and the Quakers.
Quakers came out of nowhere after 2 losing seasons, put 3 wins so far in 2000.
They do have a loss though. They lost against the
Dayton player,
the Dayton Slayer.
Okay.
Dayton Slayer Spartans. Yeah. Yeah, 3-0, man, against Dayton. That's awesome. Anyway, here we go. We're going to go with the awards now because we got to get to this because guys will cry if we don't. The team of the week was the Quakers, 160 points, absolutely amazing there. Yeah, the high point player of the week was the Cornholers. They started the 49ers defense. 49ers defense,
so you know we're gonna have a rule request. No defense can be player of the week. That'll be something we'll talk about for 2010. Because a defense is not a player. A defense is
a group of players.
Yeah, player of the week. Player, not players.
Maybe we'll just put a player or one of those things with the S in it.
We'll talk about that.
They scored the highest anyway. I mean, 5 sacks, 2 interceptions, a fumble recovery, and 3 touchdowns. That was better than any player did.
Yeah.
Hey, they get penalized more than any of the players, though. So do we not penalize them?
As soon as you added, return yards for kickoffs and punts, I think that changed it. Anyway, what else we got going here?
Going to go to injuries here pretty soon.
Dumpster.
Oh, Dumpster team of the week. The Headbangers. Yeah, another Dayton squad there. 72 points. tied the low score for the year so far.
Didn't the Headbangers set the league record last year?
Yeah, 23 points. I don't know how that was possible, but he did it.
He did it again this year.
Yeah, he's consistent. But yeah, we have injuries now.
Injury report.
And this is something that you guys might want to take note of. Eli Manning is injured with the injured heel. They don't know how that's going to be. So Steve Smith and Mario Manningham, whoever, doesn't really matter. No. But Steve Smith could suffer from that if he doesn't start.
33 points this last week.
Yeah, 36. It was insane.
He's not going to do it again.
You have Matt Stafford with the patella subluxation. That means his knee cap is actually moved over instead of riding between. It's riding off to the side. Not a good thing. Correll Buckhalter with the knee. Clinton Portis all banged up as usual. Roy Williams with the ribs because Tony Romo sucks. I said it. Cost me a minor league, son of a... And Calvin Johnson with the bruised thigh. So, but he is practicing a little bit, so we'll see how that goes.
Next up is prognostication.
Absolutely. Prognost comes down. We have the Spartans, the Rovers, the Lizards, which I think could possibly be the upset of the week, but it's really a pick-em game because the matchups are horrible. The Guns, the Bears, the Cornholers, and the Camel Toes. The 7, I think, will win. The game of the week, I think, will be the Spartans against the Headbangers. That looks like some nice, favorable matchup.
For those teams out there that are weak, you know, 8-team leagues, 10-team leagues, what do you suggest they pick up on the bench this week?
Well, you have a Massaquoi from Cleveland. I mean, how do you turn away from 8 receptions and 148 yards against a good Cincinnati team?
And who's they playing this week?
Now, this week they're playing Buffalo, so that's looking like a very nice matchup there.
Massaquoi, okay.
Brent Seelick, the Philadelphia tight end. Why anybody would let him go, I have no idea. But he is going against Tampa Bay, so that should be a very, very profitable little thing there. And Glenn Coffey from San Francisco going up against Atlanta, who's in the top 10 for giving points away. You know, they like, I don't know, giving candy out or something there. But he had over 100 total yards and everything last week. So I think Coffey, you know, filling in for Gore is going to have a really nice matchup in there. So that's pretty much it. Thought we were going to get a call in. Thought we might have someone call in.
Actually, we have a call.
Hey, we got a call there. Yeah, let's go ahead and... Yeah, let's check that out there.
Welcome, caller. You are in the Fighting Fanatics News Center, and you are live.
Hey, it's the Lazy Lizards. How we doing?
Lizards, all right. We're doing all right.
Doing good there. How's everything with you?
We're doing good. We're just traveling back home a little bit. Been a little bit running around, traveling around the country, trying to see what everybody else was doing.
All right, yeah.
Now, I got a question for you. Earlier in the season, after the draft, we kind of went through the draft board, and the Lizards looked like they had a lot of rookies. And it looked like it was probably one of the toughest drafts as the 10th pick overall. It didn't look like it was going to be a strong team, but yet you're 3-1 after 4 weeks. What do you think happened there? How did that happen?
Well, to be honest with you, after the draft, we had a lot of reaches. We had some reaching going on there. Had to get some guys to come through. I think a couple of them have come through.
Okay, yeah, all right. Yeah.
I think the reaches on paper were reaches, but I think some of them, if you take a look at them a little bit stronger, they're there. We had, to be honest with you, the first pick paid off great. The keeper was great, Chris Johnson. Obviously, you can't go wrong with him.
Number one scoring running back in the league.
And then the next couple of picks weren't reaches. Wes Welker got injured, and we've just kind of built the team.
Pierre Thomas, Ray Rice doing really well.
Yeah. So that went well. I think we just got a little bit lucky with a couple of picks, and then some of the others were actually planned, or not necessarily planned, but they were fill-ins.
Do you think maybe half the rookies are a bust and half the rookies are a score? Is that how you thought about that?
Exactly. You know, just kind of looking at what one or two pay off will be okay, and then the other guys were really just taken for depth,
okay.
and had a couple of strong positions and a couple of weak positions, but the weak positions could be filled with other guys.
Right.
Kind of how I looked at it.
Now, it was looking pretty bad there at the very beginning with injuries to Welker, injuries to Pierre Thomas. It really looked like your season could possibly really tank early, but it turns around and you've won 3 games in a row. You just destroyed the only undefeated team left in the league with the Cornholers. What do you think about that? What are you looking at? Do you have any other surprises or anything else coming in?
Well, the Cornholers are a very good team. They're actually they're stacked pretty well, and we were lucky enough to catch them on a down week. Really wasn't a whole lot of foresight there. We didn't do much.
Head coach or something?
We did a good week. We played a really good week. Had the right guys in, lucky enough, and you know, everybody was able to do what they were supposed to do on our team, and you know, they did their job. It just happened that we got lucky enough to go ahead and beat them.
That's good. That's good.
But they've got a really solid team. I think they're going to give a lot of people trouble the rest of the year.
I have to agree.
Right. Okay. Now, your real perception of the game instead of the bloated coach's speech. You know, I mean, we're not going for that, you know, rhetoric that we hear every week. You know, we want the real stuff. What did you really think, you know, as the week went on, or the last couple games, when you realized, hey, I'm going to beat this guy? What were you really thinking then?
Well, okay, honestly, I was really worried about Adrian Peterson blowing up. But unfortunately, Adrian Peterson's team was playing Minnesota, or Minnesota was playing Green Bay, and kind of knew that was going to be the game of games this year.
Right.
It would be the one game that Adrian Peterson gets shut down on.
Yeah.
So
a lot of passing.
At that point, kind of knew we were going to be okay.
All right.
Because it was going to be a passing game at that point, and they were going to make Favre beat them, because who else would Green Bay put it to than the guy they kicked out of Green Bay?
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, so before we go on to the next segment, anything you want to say in closing?
Other than the fact that Columbus rules?
Oh, that was beautiful. I don't think you can end a segment better than that. Normally I hang up on people, but after something like that,
thank you for calling. We'll talk to you later. Good night. Have a good night. This is the News Center.
Amazing. Well, this has been the Fighting Fanatics News Center. I'm your host, Bigragu.
And I'm your co-host, Lou Dog. And we are out.